Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. I'm not just a mom to my kids and my husband and to my beautiful TikTok family. I really appreciate this comment. But I also am a mom to my 94-year-old grandmother who has lived with me for the past couple of years, and I've been her caregiver for about 10 years. This past week, we lost her. And, we chose hospice, and I just want to say that was the right choice, and it was a much different experience than I expected it to be. For everyone who's not familiar with hospice, I just want to give them a little shout out. Nathan Adelson Hospice here in Nevada was incredible and supportive, and it was a very difficult experience, but they did absolutely everything that they could to support me, and I really appreciate them. I don't share a lot of my personal life on here because I just try to teach you and uplift you, but I know some of us have become close, and I really love and appreciate every single one of you. I have a P.O. box if anyone wants to send like a postcard or a card. I probably would love that. I'm struggling a little bit. We'd make some chocolate chip cookies because I've been struggling a little bit to eat, and I just feel like if we put oatmeal in them, they're basically breakfast, right? So let's make some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies for a little comfort and a little love today. And I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you so much. And we'll be back, and we'll be making content again. I just didn't want to be sad on here for you guys because that's no fun. Nobody wants to see that. But it's real and it's human, and we have to talk about it. So she lived a beautiful life, and I'm happy that she's at peace and not in pain. It's just going to take me a minute to get over losing someone who was like my mom and taught me how to cook lots of things that I show you. I'm going to start with room temperature butter. It is very, very, very important that this butter be room temperature. So I have a little trick on my TikTok, I'll tag it here, of how you can soften the butter, or you can leave it out overnight, which is what I did. Part of the reason you want that room temperature butter is because you're going to cream it with the sugar, and it will just cream up better if it is at room temperature. And you're going to want your eggs at room temperature too. This is a 1/3 cup. I'm going to do 2 thirds cup of white sugar, 1 1/3 cup packed brown sugar. So I'm just using the 1/3 cup measure 4 times. Brown sugar is molasses and white sugar mixed together. And you do it packed because it's sort of like moist and sticky, if that makes sense. That was too lucky. I have a stand mixer, but any type of mixer, hand mixer, you can even do it by hand. But you're just going to want to really cream this together. It's all pale and fluffy. It almost looks like a dough. I love that. I love the idea of a stand mixer as like a wedding present. I received this one as a wedding present, and I've had it for over 20, almost 25 years. And I don't use it that much, but man, does it come in handy when I do use it. You know what I mean? So now we're doing 2 eggs. I'm cracking them into a separate container just in case you crack it badly, or the egg is bad, or there's shell. This way you don't ruin your butter and your sugar. A lot of times you'll hear this referred to as the wet ingredients. So the sugar, the butter, the eggs, and now the vanilla. This is all your wet ingredients. And you're going to do your dry ingredients separately. Now we're going to do 4 teaspoons of vanilla. This is a doubled recipe if some of these amounts seem weird. Uh-oh. I gotta go open another vanilla. You guys know I love to measure with my heart, but in baking, you really have to like measure pretty exactly, or things don't turn out. They don't rise or they don't bake properly. We're going to put this into the mixer with our our butter and our sugar. And we're just going to mix that on like medium until it comes together. Look at how beautiful that is. You really can't overmix at this stage, but once you add the flour, you can. So we want to get this good and mixed up. I love the stand mixer is because it can be mixing while you're doing other things. Now we're measuring our dry ingredients, which is going to be the flour and then the leavening agents like baking soda, baking powder. So I was commenting how you can really easily over measure and put too much flour. So I saw a commenter saying one way you can avoid doing that is to scoop it into the cup, and that's totally true. So I just thought I'd show you here. If you use a spoon to scoop it into the cup, nice and fluffy, and then top it off, that's a great way to not compact your flour, right? Because a lot of times you're over measuring because you're smashing it down. And when you smash it down, you get too much. And then you're like, oh, my pancakes are dry. Or, oh, my cookies are dry. Or, oh, my cake is dry. That's why it's dry. You got too much flour, right? I think in bread, you probably can't have too much flour, but in cookies and cakes, you definitely can. So this is a great way to not get too much. You can use just a regular like sifter or strainer to do this. You don't have to have this flour sifter. And I don't just sift the flour. I like to sift all of the dry ingredients. So I'm also going to put my teaspoon of baking soda. Recipe, that's all the dry ingredients. You've just got your 2 cups of flour and your teaspoon of baking soda. And then you just sift it through. Sifting is just so it gets nice and fluffy and airy, but it's also to get out any impurities in case there is clumps or, you know, a little hard piece or something that doesn't belong in the flour. Sifting helps get that out, okay? So you're just gonna sift until you get down to those last little couple of pesky ones that won't sift. Put my speed on the lowest setting and just gradually add in the flour. Now, I've already dirtied the spoon, so it's a great time to use it, right? And just put a couple scoops at a time, just because I don't want flour all over my kitchen, and help it incorporate together. And you're just gonna mix it until it just comes together. It's gonna get mixed more when we put in the oatmeal and the chocolate chips. Because everything else was well combined, that flour combined in less than a minute on low. Basically, once I finished spooning it in, it was all mixed together. Look at how beautiful. Low, I'm gonna add 3 cups of oats in. I love this container. I use this for cooking oatmeal, which was one of my grandma's favorite things of all time. I would make her oatmeal and I would put a little vanilla in when I would cook it. And then I would put brown sugar and milk. And she just loved it. It was her favorite meal. So these are kind of like in honor of her. So 3 cups of oatmeal. This is when the stand mixer is really your friend because it's starting to get rough to mix this. See what I'm saying? It's thick. All right, now we're going to turn this off. And we're just going to scrape it all down. It's still nice and soft. Shout out to Target who denied my request to have an affiliate link for you guys. But these are my kids' favorite chocolate chips. And they're milk chocolate, which makes them a little bit sweeter than semi-sweet. Chocolate chips are like cheese. You should definitely measure them with your heart. But this is about 2 cups. We're going to combine and take a look at what we got. This is the bowl that you saw me sifting the flour into. For best results, you chill this dough overnight. But I'll warn you, when you get it out, it's hard as a rock. And it's not that easy to form. Like, who can be bothered? So I'm going to chill it for like a half an hour and then I'll be back. Like I said, I couldn't be bothered to wait overnight. So I just chilled it for like a half an hour. I love this bowl with the lid. When I open it, I can smell the vanilla extract. This is my large cookie sheet. I always have linked in my Amazon because I absolutely love it. If you chill it longer, the dough will be harder. And then I can link these too if you guys want me to. This is just a cookie scooper and I love it. It's so convenient because then all your cookies turn out the exact same size and you just press the handle and it like drops them down. So it makes quick work. I even use it for my pizzelles. I use a smaller one for my pizzelle dough, which I also love because it just makes quick work of dolloping them out. We're going to set that oven to 375 and cook them about 10 minutes. You want them to be like a little raw in the center and crispy around the edges. The scoop size was 2 tablespoons and I was able to fit 20 cookies on my large cookie sheet. Knew I wouldn't leave you hanging. Finished product, soft and gooey on the inside. Crunchy on the outside. Love you, Grandma.